Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Good, man. Good, good, good.
So you're kind of talking about how people interpret you as a boxer, but the odds actually have you as the favorite right now. Do you think that's a testament that people are seeing and seeing your boxing talent and taking it as legitimate?
Yeah. I mean, someone asked me this yesterday. They were like, "How is the guy who's 19-2, an time NCAA champion? How is he the proposed underdog?" So it is pretty funny that in my third pro fight, I'm coming in as the favorite against this guy who they're calling world class. But then the people want to say, "Oh, I'm not a fighter." I think people need to sort of make up their minds. But I've been putting in the work, and I think people can see that.
Looking at this from a strategic standpoint, you have several inches on him in height, reach, and weight. How big of a factor is that going to be going into this fight?
I think it'll be massive. Ben's not used to fighting at this weight. And that's another thing that people aren't even talking about. They talk about his cardio being so good, but he's lugging around an extra 25 pounds coming out of retirement. I'm ready to go into deep waters. He's used to fighting guys his same height. Masvidal, I've been training with Masvidal a bit, and it's like I'm towering over Masvidal. That's the type of guys that Ben is used to fighting. And people always say when they meet me, they're like, "Damn, you're big. You're bigger than I thought," all the time. And so that'll play a huge factor. And he won't be able to get close to me. He won't be able to do all the things that he's planning on doing. He's talking about coming in with defense and pressure. That pressure and him coming forward is going to get him knocked out.
All right. Next up is Gabriel Gonzalez. Gabriel.
Hey, Jake. There's been so much with the pre-fight and everything. I'm wondering, in your opinion, what is people's biggest misconception about you?
Everything. How much time do you have? People don't understand me. They don't get me. And I don't think they maybe ever will. I have a tattoo on the back of my neck. It says, "I wish I could explain," because I wish I could explain. If I could talk to you guys for hours on hours and become your friend, you would maybe start to understand me, and my inner circle understands me, and the closest people around me understand me. My family understands me, and they get what I'm trying to do. But the world doesn't know who Jake Paul is, and maybe I like it that way.
I think you've done a great job of getting people to tune in, right? You've done that with your performances, but also just the way, you've promoted these fights. What is your biggest advice? Because obviously a lot of these prize fighters want to do the same thing. They want more attention to make more money. What, in your opinion, is the key to it? Is it playing into the heel role? Is it having personality? What is it?
I think just, being yourself. Look, I mean, it's hard to give someone advice on such a intricate subject. I spent 10, 12 years of my life doing social media and marketing and creating content. So it comes second nature to me. I've been doing it since I was 10 years old. So I don't know, just maybe hire a social media team and put some content out, grow your brand. I mean, Ryan Garcia does a great job of it. That's really it. He's the only boxer that does a good job.
All right. Next up is Michael Mariam. Michael.
Thank you, Jake. So have you had a chance to take a step back and realize how far you've come in your boxing career so quickly? Just like a couple of years ago, you were just doing daily vlogs and stuff, and now you're fighting in one of the biggest stadiums in America. Have you just had a chance to step back and take it all in?
I honestly haven't. I think, my team helps me reflect on sort of where I've gotten to and how far I've come. But I've just been going nonstop and haven't really had a chance to look back and be like, wow, that's crazy, or this is crazy. I think it's starting to set in a little bit. But it is pretty absurd. I'm in my third pro fight, fighting 8 rounds, headlining, one of the biggest pay-per-views that could happen this decade. If you look at Floyd Mayweather, his third fight was 6 rounds. He got paid $7,000, and I don't think anyone in this room probably watched it.
All right, next up is Damon Martin. Damon.
Hey, Jake. Obviously you've said numerous times how seriously you're taking your boxing career. But obviously this is the first, professional fighter you face. Now, of course, there's going to be people who will say, well, Ben is a wrestler, not a boxer. But do you believe beating Ben Askren will add some legitimacy to your boxing career, or does that even matter to you?
Well, it doesn't matter to me, but also I think people are going to make tons of excuses for him afterwards, which is great. Just like, again, I bring up Floyd, but Floyd's 50-0, and people still will debate why he shouldn't be 50-0, and the judges and and he shouldn't have won this fight and he shouldn't have won that fight and he picked the easy fight here. So people are always going to have excuses as part of this game. But again, that's why they're going to tune into the next pay-per-view after I watch Ben to see me lose or try to see me lose. It doesn't really matter to me at all. And yes, Ben is the first professional fighter I've faced in a real fight, but I've sparred against 250 guys in the gym who are a lot better than Ben.
In terms of your long-term goals, Jake, what are your long-term goals? Because, I don't think there's anything wrong if you went out there and fought in a million fights against Nate Robinsons and made millions of dollars. I think people forget this is called prize fighting. But what are your long-term goals in this sport?
I want to continue to challenge myself with my opponents and continue to build up my level of competition and to make history with historic events and break pay-per-view records and fight big names and just have fun, man. Like this is such a fun sport. This is such a fun time, and these events are so cool, and I want to bring more eyeballs just in general.
Next up with a follow-up is Joe Lee.
Hiya. Just another one from me. I know you mentioned on the True Geordie podcast a couple of days ago about how specifically the UK fans have quite a disliking to you. Do you think you need to beat KSI in order to get more respect? Or do you think a win on Saturday night, a lot more people can reason with you because of the hard work and the passion you've shown for the sport of boxing?
I'm not talking about that guy.
Fair enough. Could I ask one more then? What's your road to Conor McGregor? I know I guess he's the ultimate goal for you. How would you map out a road if from now to here to there? How would you get there?
I think we both are on a road to each other. He wants another boxing fight. He wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. He would get toasted. He just keeps on taking L's. So I think him fighting me would not only be his money fight, but it would technically be the easiest challenge, right? I think fighting Jake Paul would probably be easier than fighting Manny Pacquiao, and it would be just as big. And I think we're a lot closer to a Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight than anyone thinks. I think it could happen in the next 24 months.